Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey. Let's talk about Tamar Get Your Life. This season 1, episode 2. I don't think there'll be a season 2, but nonetheless, season 1, episode 2. And this episode, I think, is entitled Break Room. Not gonna be before you guys long. I've made four points that I'm gonna go over. Jay White comes in again on this episode, and I don't know if this is day 1 or day 2 of the 2 days that he has free, or if he's just made more time. But he's there. He's got a whole setup there. He's got a guitarist and a guy playing keyboard. He's got a guy there with the computers. They just got everything set up, this mobile studio set up so that they can record this album, and Tamar can be comfortable, this, that, and the other. She comes in, she greets them, and has a brief seat, and then she says, I've got to go potty. And she leaves to go potty. He says, okay, go ahead and go potty. She goes upstairs, and of course she's got a whole entourage of people upstairs. Like every room there's an entourage. Like there's cameras, whether it's her entourage or the people who've come to see her have brought an entourage. Like it's an entourage in every room. Well, she decided she's gonna cook for them. And now she's supposed to be going to go pee. I don't know if the peeing ever happened, but she did end up frying fish, making 2 pans of mac and cheese, and a whole host of other things. And they were like, why don't you go back downstairs and finish filming and all of that? And she was like, no, he's fine. They setting up and getting straight and everything. They'll be fine. Why you make mac and cheese, seasoned, and fried fish? Okay. Finally, she goes back downstairs, and after, a couple of other things have popped off, she finally starts to sing. We don't get to hear a lot of the singing because obviously it's a song she's going to release at some point, so she doesn't want anyone else to hear it. Everybody says it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's awesome. I didn't hear all of that, but I'm sure that it is. Meanwhile, Vince comes and drops Logan off. He picks him up in the morning, takes him to school, drops him off in the afternoon, it looks like. And he comes in, of course, kids just get out the car. So you got to gather all of their things, darling. Especially if you don't want to double back or have to come back in the morning because they done left their school project in the car. You got to clean out everything. And so he's coming down the steps with, handfuls of things. And the camera goes blank. And we learn in this moment, they put it across the screen, that David has a stipulation that if Vince films on the show, then he won't be on the show. So they can't show Vince on film if they want David to be on the show. Okay? So they cut it. And when they come back, all we get to see is Tamar saying she got to go and give her 3 minutes. She gonna go and run and get Logan settled. And I mentioned him last week kind of being a little pudgy, a little bit, which is fine. He's just a baby, but like I said, I'm seeing a pattern. She wanted him to have some broccoli. He wanted some Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? Last week he wanted some chocolate. I'm seeing a pattern. I really am. So, and it's not even about him being a pudgy, because children are pudgy. They call that baby weight. It's about what may be going on underneath there. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids learn to eat their feelings very, very early on. That's all I'm saying. Y'all. Anyway, So there's this whole thing that they're getting set up for this whole Vince moment where um basically David has some insecurities about Vince being in the home, and he don't care for that. All right. So once again, she's brushing Jay White off and disrespecting his time and his people's time. And it Goli kind of mentions it. She thinks it's Tamar's way of distracting and putting off the things that she doesn't really like to do, or the things that she finds it is tough to do. Here's the thing though. It's the singing. It's singing is supposed to be what she does, like breathing. And it's like pulling teeth to get her to sing. It's supposed to be her passion. This is all she wants to do is her music and focus on her music. But it's the thing she avoids the most. So in my mind, I feel like you use the singing to sort of prolong, or you use this shyness of singing, this avoidance of singing, just to prolong things. You're doing it to prolong. If you just go ahead and pop this album out and get this thing done, then what? Then you'll have to move on to the next thing. Then you will have overcome this thing, or you will have achieved this thing, and then what? Like, it's almost like this is her claim to fame. The fact that she can sing, but she's afraid to sing. You know what I mean? Let's see. Okay, so then we see David has had a conversation with Logan. Now, I don't know if he was picking Logan for information, or if he was just having conversation with Logan. I mean, obviously he knows that Vince picks Logan up for school and drops Logan off. You saying that's your house, this your girl. Obviously, you know that his daddy, Logan lived at his daddy come and pick him up. So you know his daddy been by the house at least once every day. Or at least during the week. And that's why I said, were you picking Logan for information? Anyway, he said he found out through Logan that Vince had been in the house. And at this time that he found out, I guess Tamar had a guy there that was going to help her, another professional who does choreography and scene sets. Basically, he sets the stage. She's got a show coming, so he's going to help her do some choreography and set up the stage and just make it very visually appealing. And so she is barely giving him attention. She's looking in her phone, and then we see the producers say, oh, well, Tamar's clearly distracted. Something's going on. And she's just like, you don't have to leave, but I gotta go. And the guy sits down. I was like, she coming back? Did you did you get that information? Like, she gets up, goes downstairs, and everybody, the producers are like, stay on her, stay with her, don't let her get away. We got to get this on film, right? Before they can get down there and stay on her, she's already in the bedroom with David and closed the door and locked it. Now, it's her in the room, it's David in the room, and it's Logan in the room. Okay, we hear, hold it, just hold it, hold it. Now, I think this is the moment that a couple of other vloggers was talking about, that he may have gotten physical with her when they heard this information, this hold it, this audio saying, like, behind the door, maybe he was getting physical with her. And I don't know that David's type of abuse is physical. I don't know that. I don't know if it is mostly manipulation and verbal. I don't know. I don't know how much he could have gotten done with Logan in the room. You would think Logan would have screamed out or would have been crying or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, then we see David come out of the room and he's got a bag and he's got a backpack and he's going up the stairs and he's taking the stairs two at a time. Logan was coming right out behind him and Tamar called him back in the room and then closed the door. So David was gone for like a day, 2 days, something like that. Tamar's on her way to the gym with her entourage. Here's my thing. When you travel deep like that, when you travel 4 and 5 and 6 deep like that, to me, it's hard to keep things private. It's hard to keep things contained. It's no way you gonna have 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 people and somebody's not leaking something to the vloggers or bloggers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people just are constantly always around. Like, it's a weird setup. Like, your job is to hang out with this person. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it, but it looks pathetic to me. That's just my personal opinion. It looks pathetic to me. That's all I'm saying on that. Anyway, so Tamar, after she goes to work out with her entourage, she gets a text from David. He wants to have dinner. They meet for dinner, and he wants to question her about, well, she wants to know, you shouldn't go that long period of time without talking to somebody and calling and checking on somebody, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, well, I was upset. I needed to process. And she was like, cool. Process what? What's going on? And he was like, you had Vince in my house again. And he keeps saying my house. And the producers asked him point blank, was it his house? He was like, it's Tamar's house, but it's my house. Like, my house is her house. But that's the same house you set her out of, right? Just a week or so ago. You set her out of that house. That was your house. That was your car. That's your property. But here on camera, you're saying that this is your home, just like her home. She's at your home 3 days a week, although we're not seeing her film at your house at all. And you're at her home 4 days a week. And so y'all share homes. Boy, bye. That ain't your house. That ain't your house. But that also is not your fault. You've been led to believe that that's your home as well. You've been led to believe that this behavior is okay. So I'm not going to blame him 110% because you've gotten the carte blanche. You know what I'm saying? A vampire can't come in unless you invite him. I know vampires aren't real, but you get what I'm saying. Like this your devil. At some point, you have spoon-fed and breastfed this devil, and he thinks he runs stuff around your house, around your son, around your son's father. Like, okay. So, and then she was like, well, I think it was really, really bad because, kind of involves Logan. And she just was like, I don't want to get involved with all of that. I feel like if you got an issue with Vince coming in, you need to talk with Vince about it. And he was like, well, you're allowing him to come in. And she was like, well, he wasn't in our bedroom. He was in Logan's bedroom. He's Logan's father. And he was like, I don't want him in the home. She was like, well, you need to talk to him for yourself. And he was like, fine. And so, and she brought up the Logan thing again. And he was like, well, I talked to Logan. And she said, oh, you did? You talked to Logan? He was like, yeah, I talked to Logan. And I think he was upset more than anything. He told me because he thought I wasn't coming back. And she said, what? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, wow. And I tell you, y'all remember last week I said he reminds me a little bit of an amphibian, like a lizard. You know what I'm saying? That chameleon type way. He's got moments where he looks very birdish, very stern, very harsh in the face. And then he's got this really slick, sly smile when He told her that Logan was afraid that he would leave and never come back. And the shock on her face, he had the slyest smile on his face, like he had eaten the canary, darling. Like he had eaten the canary. I said to myself, he full of the devil. He full of the devil. He full of the devil. He got some joy out of that. He was trying to tell her something. He's trying to get her to believe that it would be devastating for her son if he were to leave. And her son has expressed that. I'm like, Tamar, go talk to your baby yourself. Go talk to your baby yourself and figure it out. Because he's trying to sell us on the fact that he has somehow wooed over a 6-7-year-old child, which is no great feat per se. And he's trying to get you to believe that his presence is not only important to you, but important to your son. He running game, girl. He running straight game. And he getting off on it. He getting off on it. Okay. So she wants him to talk to Vince, and he wants to also talk to Goli. Basically, he don't want Goli ruining what he got going on. He don't want Goli spoiling what he got set up here, because he feel like he got Tamar right where he want her, and he don't want nobody coming in and putting ideas and stuff in her head and making her feel like she can be anything other than oppressed and out of pocket. Okay. So then we see where she has this dream and she wants to talk with Goli about it. Goli comes over, and earlier we saw where Mona Scott came over and she showed her around her home. Now, you know, Tamar's thing is that she had lost everything. She's lost every single solitary thing, and including herself. Except she's got this beautiful home in California. California is not an inexpensive state. She's got still tons and tons of things. I don't know if it's all stage. I don't know. She's got lots of clothing and things like that. I don't know. But it seems like she's got a lot for someone who's lost a lot. Now, maybe she was talking about things that were a little bit more existential, meaning herself and her life, her goals, her dreams. I don't know, but she kind of seemed like she was saying she lost everything, like her home and her way of life. Maybe she meant the home she had with Vince. I don't know, but this is a beautiful house. Tamar is not homeless, and David sat her out, and Vince want to go and get her things. It's not like is she homeless? Like, but she just at her house, right? Like, I don't get it. I don't get the over dramatics of everything. I don't understand why we doing all that. Maybe it's for the show. Maybe y'all can help me understand it. Put it down below. Like, everything is stretched into this very, very dramatic way when you and I would handle things differently, because it wouldn't be dramatized in this way. You know, I would just let David know, this is my son's father. I need his help raising my son. And this is what it is. He's going to come in. My son has a right to have his father visit him, especially in his own room, in his own space. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to have to deal with that or else. Like, who has given him this idea that he has a say-so? That's what I'm just trying to figure out. Where has he come up with this idea from? That he can tell you what to do in your own home. I don't understand it. Anyway, so she has this dream where David's supposed to be cheating on her, and she believes that he's cheating on her, and the person that he's cheating on her with is Ellen, and Goli is writing it all down, and then Goli interprets the dream, and she wants her then to have this moment where she talks with Ellen, because Ellen is just a symbol. And like, she talked to Tyler Perry and make this headway. Now, pause. First of all, I'm not saying that her dream wasn't trying to tell her something. I'm saying I don't think it's telling her what Goli says it's telling her. Because I could see with David that he's met his match with, to me, with an African American woman. I don't think typically David messes with African American women. I don't think he typically messes with women of color. He looks like the kind of dude and the kind of abuser that he is, meaning he's a manipulator and it's more verbal and controlling, that he might be into Caucasians. And I wouldn't be surprised if him and Goli don't end up together. I don't care how they fuss and fight. I'm just telling you. He's the kind of user that prefers the easier target. And maybe he thought Tamar was the easier target because she was giving him that vibe, but no. It turns out they're one and the same. They both like attention. They both like to be the center of attention. They both like to be put on a pedestal, David and Tamar. Anyway, yeah, I think that dream was telling her that her man prefer white women. Her man prefer white women. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. Anyway, so Logan comes in again and everything stops because Logan is coming in. Now, I personally think they're filming Tamar all day long. I don't understand why we continue to have moments where Logan is coming in. Like, you have Goli come over and you know filming takes 3 or 4 hours. You know that your son coming in. Like, you know that your son's going to come in. And I don't know why you can't film around these moments. Except you want your son on camera. You want your mothering to be seen on camera. You want him to interrupt. Like, you want these interruptions. I think she likes this sort of grand central station type lifestyle where people are just running in and out. People are all over the house. People are just hanging out. Like, this is the place to hang. A lot of people do that when they're lonely. A lot of people do that when they don't like to be alone. Which I think the best therapy for Tamar is some alone time. I think she should be with herself and her own thoughts. I think if you put Tamar in a cabin with some music equipment and a video recorder, microphone, I think that's where you would get your gold from. I think having all of these people around and all of these distractions around are just opportunities for her to constantly deflect. Yeah, I just think that people constantly being around is an opportunity for her not to deal with her own ish, not to deal with her own self, not to smell her own stink. Like, it tears me up that everybody is continuing to cater to her in this way. I just don't think it's helpful. I don't think having an entourage around all the time is helpful. I think the fact that she can't be with her own self, with her own thoughts, is a lot of the reasons why she's not dealing with her own ish. So Goli wants to sort of get her away. A lot of what she does, Goli does, is sort of esoterical. It's you know, I want to say spiritual, but I don't know if I want to go that deep with it. But it's for the most part spiritual, right? And it's not something tangible, something that you can put on film per se. And so she wants her to go and sort of put some of these emotions into an action that can be filmed and can be seen. And so she suggests a breaking room. And it's a room where you can go in and you can break windows, you can break glass, you can break ceramics, whatever they got in there for you to break, and put all of that energy and frustration into it. Now, I do believe in things like this. It's different for me. I'm not a person that likes to destroy. I'm a person that likes to achieve. So you can give me a bucket of potatoes and ask me to peel all them potatoes, and I promise you I will take every bit of frustration in my body and put it into peeling potatoes. I will do my deepest thoughts, thinking. I will sing hymnals. I mean, I just put a lot of energy into tasks. Cleaning greens. Sometimes instead of vacuuming, I'll sweep the carpet. It's just something for me to put energy into, that nervous energy, that anxiety into. So I understand the concept of it, right? And I understand Tamar having a certain feeling about it, perceiving it as her having anger and them wanting her to get anger out, okay? Because maybe what she feels is not anger. Maybe what she feels predominantly is frustration, okay? But her point was made moot when she got belligerent and started over talking and started slinging their hair and stopped letting anybody say anything. They couldn't say 3 words. You're making your own point moot. I won't say she's making their point, because I don't think that their point was that she was angry. I think she was proving her own. She was making her own point, the point that she was trying to prove. I think she was making it moot because she was coming across angry. She was coming across belligerent. She was over talking, even when the guy wanted to go in and talk with her and just clear up his own name. This producer guy, who's a cutie. He was a super cutie. I love those full pink lips. He's just a real cute guy. He wanted to just clear his name. Like, I don't want people thinking that I'm trying to project black women as angry. I need to clear this up. I mean, it just couldn't even get like 3 words out good before she would just get it. She would just get it and overtalk him. He and Goli were not allowed to say, this is what it is and this is all that it is, without her overtaking the conversation and being so demonstrative. Like, shut the freak up, Tamar. Be quiet. Be quiet. Every bit of space does not have to be occupied with your wild and zany and over the top and extra ass energy. Just hush, sis. You might learn something. But that is Tamar Get Your Life break room or breaking room or whatever it's called. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. I holla.